thoughts started coming to mind that why is Africa special to every other continent? Why can't other continents do without Africa? Of course, I understand that human beings are supposed to relate together. There must be, a relationship within the creations of Olodumare that is acceptable. But why is it that a particular continent is the only continent that everyone does not want to do without? Why? I was listening to an interview recently about the Americans and the educational system and how the H-1B visa was created to suck out talent from all over the world, not just Africa, from all over the world. And that caught for attention. Does that mean that if there's no H-1B visa and the talent in the world is not allowed into America, what becomes of America today? That's not my bone of contention today. That's a topic for another day. But what I want to talk about today is why is it that every other continent can't do without Africa? Why? If you know why, please comment in the comment section. But I'm going to talk about a little of the whys today, but I still need your comment in the comment section so that we can all discuss on this matter. Look at the Chinese. Despite their level of development right now in this 28th century, the Chinese are still trooping into Africa to have something to do with us, to do something with us, to make sure that their presence is still felt in Africa. One, they come in terms of, let's repair this for you. Let's construct this for you. Let's take charge of this for you. Let's do that. Why? Can't they do it in their land? This is a call for Africans to wake up and understand that what we are sleeping on is what the world is after. What we think is not good enough is all that the world needs to develop. It is the effect of the past that is still upon us, that is still causing underdevelopment today. So there is a need for us to wake up to the knowledge of those things. One, remember the Berlin Conference in 1884-85, where the African continent was divided across tribe and maps were made, and Africa knew nothing about this conference. We were not even invited to the table. Their clause is still on us. Colonization went. Not only independence, they came up with democracy. Now, who has democracy helped? Now, when you talk about democracy, what does democracy do to people? Let me give you a typical example of what democracy does. For instance, the roof of a house is leaking. Now, what does democracy do? Democracy is going to tell you that the house is leaking. Let's set up a committee to look into the leaking house. So now, a committee is set up, and then the committee begins to sit for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 3 months. Now, the house is leaking and it's raining. More things are getting spoiled. That's democracy. It doesn't allow things to be attended to as at the time it's needed to be fixed. Rather, it causes more decadence on things. Now, the committee now comes up after 6 months. Okay, so these are the things we will need to make sure that this thing is fixed. You know the next thing? They now set up another committee. Now, procurement committee will now begin to look for people to make tenders. Oh yeah, you tender, that tender, this tender. They bring out about 200 tenders. They now have to select the best. In selecting the best, there'll be one influence or the other. I'm trying to explain where Africans got it wrong with the foreign invasion and introduction of things that does not work within our system. However, the procurement system goes on and then they procure. Now, the roof that was leaking, the point that was leaking was what the first committee sat on. By the time the second committee is done, the whole house is damaged. The money allocated for the renovation cannot attend to it anymore. This is exactly some of the examples of how we got to this point. So Africa, it is time for us to wake up from our slumber and understand that nobody is coming from anywhere to come and help us. Rather, all these people that are trying to create a relationship with us is not because they love us. We are just a bride that everyone is seeking to marry because of what we possess, because of what we get. There is no West that is looking for a relationship with Africans because of Africans' good. It is because of what they will get and what they will cut away from our land. Every day they create distraction for us. We know the style. The style is when you see an African man or an African leader coming up and doing something unique and exceptionally well for his people, you know what they do? They cut them away. They create confusion. They say some are Hutu, some are Tutsi. Now they create confusion along tribal lines. They say, oh, you are Hausa, you are Igbo. Oh, no, you are Ghanaian, you are Cote d'Ivoire. You know, they create all this manner of divisions among us to make sure that we don't concentrate on what matters, on what we have to transform our continent. African, this is a wake-up call for us. Let's wake up ourselves. Let's rise up to the challenge that this continent belongs to us, and whatever we make of it is what the generations coming behind us will remember you and I for. What are you doing to make sure that that which your land possesses is being emphasized and is being used to make your land at your quarter of Africa great and developed? Because people will always gravitate towards development. That is what our people need. And these are the reasons why other continents cannot do without Africa. It is because of what we possess, our human capital, our resources that are enormous. And you know the good thing about it, Africa is so blessed that they are not going to finish. Name any mineral resources or mineral resource that has finished on the continent of Africa, as much as they are cutting them away. Yet, we're having more. We're discovering more at different parts and quarters of Africa. My African brothers and sisters, we are more than what we think we are. We are bigger than whichever way we have imagined ourselves before. Let's begin to see clearer and clearly who we are, what we possess, what we can do, our capacity. Now let's discuss in the comment section. What is it in your land that you think that the West is looking for? And if you disagree with me, let's also discuss it. But I tell you, Africa is bigger than what you can think or what I am thinking right now. Thank you very much.
Guided by Ori, guided by Africa. Ori Africa.